Mitchell County schools are located in the northwestern part of the mountains of North Carolina. We have 8 schools with about 550 employees and approximately 2,200 students. Our previous technology was that we had internet access, but it was based on a fractional T1 line to each school. Our schools could not see each other, nor could they access each other. The students did not get the technology background, and they would be lost in their studies. And we wanted to correct that. So we started looking for different ways to improve the bandwidth till we could get more online at one time, more labs for our students. We pretty well had a good idea of what kind of speed that we needed, but we had to find something that we could afford. And being in 2 different ladders was very, very expensive. And the location where we're at also impacted everything, because we did not have access to several different telephone companies.
When PNC came to install our system from the wireless network to the IP telephony, I have to say I was a bit overwhelmed at their expertise. Being in the mountains of western North Carolina, we deal with snow and a lot of times rain and high winds, all of which could potentially affect the wireless network very adversely. I think PNC's setup and the way they did it has been certainly better than I anticipated. Not because I doubted them, but I just doubted when you have conditions and the towers have to be placed on hills that you can't even drive to, that you have to walk to, literally to work on.
We have a Cisco switch-based system. We have a Cisco Unity telephone system. We use the 7960s, the 7940s, 7912s. We went to Cisco 2821 routers and the Cisco 3750 switches. We have a wireless access point on 4 towers in the county. We negotiated with the county to let us use their sites, and those access points are also Cisco. That has enabled us to have multiple labs in each school, more programs for the students to use, and also with the North Carolina state testing, that enabled us to do that by computer. It has just been wonderful for our students, because now when they leave and go to a college, they have the knowledge that they need.
They came knowing what they were going to do initially and set forth to do that. I just sort of stood back and watched and all, but they were very systematic, very efficient in what they did. Not a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted motion. There was obviously a lot of pre-planning involved and a lot of simply knowing what you're doing.
We could not have done this without the E-rate money. We found that would provide our internet access, internal connections, equipment, and so therefore we made the application. With the E-rate program, you have to submit on the internet or by phone to all the vendors that have a desire to bid on the equipment. We had numerous bids, but there was not one company. One company would want to do our equipment. One company would want to do our web page. One company would want to do numerous things, but there was not one company that could do everything except for PNC.
I've been exceptionally pleased with the lack of difficulty, the lack of problems. PNC was exceptional at training us on how to use the system. And that's very important. I think your people have to buy into what you're doing. And their representatives sat down with us, walked us through each step of the process, from something so simple as dialing, as to transferring calls, as to a voice messaging system. Did it very well in a very short amount of time that I think everybody felt comfortable with, even our secretaries that handle the bulk of the load. I think will tell you they feel very comfortable with the system based on two things: the equipment, first-rate equipment, and the first-rate people that work with the equipment.
In the older technology, the school system, as I said, was running on a fractional T1 line. Those fractional T1 lines were extremely expensive because we are in two different lattices of the telephone system in the state. We cut that cost extremely by going with a wireless configuration. With the telephone system, we cut our telephone bills approximately half.
PNC handles our maintenance exclusively in terms of that work with us. They, and I suppose primarily with our network, our wireless network, and again our IP telephony, which is, for me personally, has been an amazing thing with our network system, our telephoning system. Process is simple. If the school system had an issue, they usually called myself or they called one of our technicians. And if our technicians, who are also very capable, needed to, they would call a PNC representative, or I could call a PNC representative. Over the course of the last year, I think I got all of their cell numbers programmed into my cell phone, which I keep. And I would call them, and since they take the time to locate themselves up here during the week, I always have a representative on site. If it's a telephony issue, if it's a wireless network issue, if it's a server issue, if it's an equipment, a software, hardware issue of that sort, they were very quick to act and efficient and proficient enough that many times they could take care of the problem from their side.
One of the things that PNC brought to us is they have taken us from using our T1 lines to help our teachers being able to download the programs that they need necessary and allow our students to be able to use the internet in ways they were not able to before. This has dramatically affected our schools, and especially at our high school, where we're able to do classes online this year so that students can be able to work with the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and other different services like the North Carolina Virtual High School.
If I could say anything about the PNC and the system that we have, be it the wireless, be it the IP telephony, I believe that the system is only as good as the operators. As I said, first-rate equipment, but first-rate equipment doesn't get you far without first-rate people. And these people are very well trained. They're experts in what they do. They know their business. The equipment, I don't worry about the malfunctioning because I know it's of the highest quality. But with our wireless system, with our telephony, with the things that we have planned for the future, I think that our system is going to be a leader in the area. I think other people, and other people already have, are going to make inquiries about how do you like your system. I'm asked that all the time. I was told before we started this wireless would never work in Mitchell County. And I've been able to say that's not the way it turned out. And I think, again, that's because of the quality of the system and the quality of the people we have.